YouTube, what's up everyone? Welcome back to a new series. We're doing a bit of an educational series where I'm going to kind of dive into Catan a little bit more in depth. If you're a beginner or maybe still trying to learn a little bit of Catan, this is a good video for you. This video is going to really be centered around placements. I think that's probably maybe one of the hardest things to do if you're learning Catan. You know, what is good, what is bad, what you kind of want to look for, some maybe misconceptions with placements. So we're going to get into a gameplay of mine. It's a pretty good game a couple days ago that we had on the stream, live on twitch.tv. The swag, same username on Twitch, little drop there. But yeah, we go into placements, you know, what I liked about my placements, what I think I could have done better. And then I kind of talk about everybody else's placement too. If you guys like this type of video, drop a like. Let me know in the comments what else you guys want to learn. I've got a whole set of things that we're going to talk about. But yeah, we'll get into the video. Hope you guys like it. Peace. All right, so if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you probably know what the resources are, but if not, you have 5 different resources in this game. So there's wood, which is the tree; brick, which is the brick-looking thing; sheep, which is the sheep; ore, which is the rock; and then wheat, which is this the yellow grain. The idea is you want to try to have all resources, and most resources, you know, have different they have different relationships that kind of work with each other, and you know, some things go better with others. So for example, obviously, a lot of people know this, but ore and wheat go together really well because those are the 2 things that you need for cities. So ore and wheat are obviously very important. Obviously, if you don't have any ore, it's going to be tough. You might not get past a score of 7. The saying goes, no ore equals 7 score, a score of 7. So, and then another saying, no wheat equals defeat. So those 2 resources, they're all important, but if you need to win the game, you need to have ore and wheat. If you don't have those 2 things, it's going to be very hard to win the game. So I'm breaking down this board here. I have the 2nd pick. So orange has the 1st pick. He's going to look at the board. He's really going to want to probably take some sort of ore and wheat on this board. All right, real quick, everybody, take a pause and then try to decide what you would pick on as your first settle spot. And then whenever you kind of decide, unpause it, see what orange picks. All right, so orange did end up going on the 695. That makes sense. Another quick tip for anybody who is newer, the little dots underneath the numbers, those are called pips. Pretty much the more pips, the better odds you have at rolling the numbers. So 2s and 12s, there's only one way to roll a 2 or a 12. Obviously snake eyes or double 6s, so there's only one little pip. So you want to be on those numbers with more pips. Orange takes the highest production on the board. You can't fault him with that. It's also got the best ore and the best wheat. So definitely a very strong pick for him. I don't blame him for taking it. And then he's also going towards this 3-to-1 port. So a lot of you guys already know what 3-to-1 ports are, but if you don't know what it is, there's these ports around the map that have different abilities and ways to port resources for something that you may not have and you need. So a 3-to-1 port would be, so you have a lot of wheat. This guy's on 2 wheat, so he's more than likely going to have a lot of wheat in this game. If you settle on that, then you trade 3 wheat with the bank for, say, a wood that you need. I think orange does this quite often this game because he doesn't get the best wood this game. So, you know, he gets to that 3-to-1 port, he settles on it, and then, you know, he can port more. So that was orange's 1st pick. Now we get to me. I've got a lot of decisions to make. We'll actually get you guys into the thought process of what I was thinking during the game, and then let me know what you guys think of that pick. I think it was pretty strong. So we'll go ahead and play the actual video.
So, what do we like?
8-10-5 is not bad. Got a pretty good wood port right here. I do like this 8-10-5. Brick is going to be the issue though. Trying to counteract brick or the wood with some brick. I don't know. Do I get like an 11-4-3 on the way back? That might be kind of bad, but kind of good. I don't know. I think that the 8-10-5 is just too good to not take. The wood port too. All right, so as you guys see, I did end up taking the 8-5-10. This is the next best production on the board. It's got a total of 12 pips, so pretty good production. And then, like I was talking about earlier, has a very good wood port. So I can easily road settle on this wood port and then use that to trade in for something I might not have as much of, like brick. So I thought this was a pretty good settle spot for me. I take advantage of the ore that there's not a whole bunch of on this board. I lock in a little bit more wheat. There's not a whole bunch of brick on this board, so I didn't think it was really worth it going on something like an 8-3-4, or maybe even this 8-3-4 up top. So this is what I ended up with. Let me know what you guys would have done. I think this is a pretty balanced spot, and then we'll kind of break down of what everybody else does from here on out. So I don't hate this pick from Blue. As you guys see, he did settle on the 8-3-4. I don't hate this pick from Blue, and now here's why. He's maybe, I don't know what he's thinking. One thing he could do with this potentially, with his second pick back around, he could try to look to pair this up with a 5-4-11. Now, what is really strong with this is obviously it gives him ore. That's good. He's going to get all the resources he needs because he's missing ore and wood. So those are the two things that he's going to get, which are pretty good production. But what makes this so strong is he could potentially pair up the 4s. So every 4 that he rolls is going to give him a wood and a brick, which will give him a road in turn. So 4s will be very, they work together really well if he were to go on the 5-4-11. Now, if he does that, that's another thing. Okay, so now to Black. So he has the 4th pick, and with the 4th pick, as you guys know, you get your pick, and then the next berry pick is yours as well. So it's kind of like a snake draft. It makes it so you can do a lot of different things. This can work out really well for you, or it could not. A lot of the good picks could be taken up by the 4th pick, but also you can really decide your game by, I mean, you can usually get all of the resources that you need. It just may not be the best. So if you're Black, take a pause in the video. What would you guys do? It's pretty, the 4th pick is definitely the toughest because there's usually a lot of different options that you can do. So yeah, pause the video, think about what you guys would do, and then we'll see what he does and kind of talk about it after. All right, so as you guys see, Black decided on going, his first settlement spot was on the 8-10-4, and then his second was the 6-3-11, excuse me. And when you pick your second settlement spots, you guys know, you get those resources. So he ended up picking 6-3-11 as second, so he got a wheat, a sheep, and a brick. I don't love these picks. I like the 6-3-11 pick from him. You need the wheat. Everybody else has good wheat. If you are left without wheat, you're not going to compete in this game. I don't love the 8-10-4. Now the reason being is you're going to have a lot of wood compared to the brick that you have. He's on a 10 and a 4, which is pretty good wood, and then he just has a small 11 brick. Now you could say he is going to get down towards the 11-4, 3-1 port, but you know, it's going to take him, you know, some time. He also doesn't have any ore. What I would have done personally if I was him, I think I still stick with the 6-3-11. Then I also think I would think about the 6-3-9 up here as well. Pairs up your 6s, pairs up the 3s. So you don't have as many numbers, but you have a bit more of an equal distribution between the wood and the brick. And then you could maybe try and get over towards this the 9-10 if that's left open for you to get a little bit of ore. So that's probably what I would do. I don't know what you guys would have done. Definitely an interesting pick. I don't think there's one great pick for Black, and you guys you guys see that. Definitely a tough spot for him to be in, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. All right, so now, Blue's second pick, he chooses to go on the 693. Now, what I was saying earlier in the video, if I was Blue and I was in his position, I'd be really hoping to get this 5411, which he had the opportunity to, because it gives you the ore that you need, and it gives you the paired fours for the roads with the wooden brick. I guess maybe Blue's plan here could be to try to really dominate the road building material, giving him longest road, which is a good play style to have. He also has this potential brick port he could go to, so I think it's an okay pick. I personally would have gone on the 4-5-11. It gives him, the ore that he might need to counteract with all the wheat he's going to have, and the very strong paired fours for roads. So he ends up going 693, and it leaves me an interesting spot to go. I have a lot of options now. So I have the option of going the 5-4-11 myself, but that only gives me 3 resources. It makes it so I don't have any brick and I don't have any sheep. Now with me being on 8-10, right here with the ore and the wheat, I need sheep to make this game work. Now the reason being, to get development cards, you need ore, wheat, and sheep. Without any sheep, I'm going to be stuck without buying development cards, and I'm not going to be able to have road this game because there's no brick. So my thought process is pretty clear here. I probably need to take advantage of some sheep. Pause the video. What would you guys do if you get it right? Give yourself a pat on the back. Trading for brick could be an issue, and we do need sheep. I mean, the obvious pick is probably the 9-10-11, right? But then the issue with that is I'm going to probably get blocked on the 10 quite often. Do I go... Okay. Now this could work. So what if I go on the 3-10-11, which gives me more expansion room? Assuming orange probably takes... I mean, if I go here and I point up, I'll have 2 choices. Orange probably takes the 9-11-4. Is that worth it? But if I go here, then it really locks up the board. And then does he go on this 5-4-11? Probably not, right? I think I'm going to go on the 9-10-11. It kills his sheep, and then he has to see what he does. I don't know. If I point right, it's redundant. I think I'm going to point left, and if I get blocked, then it is what it is. I could see him going on the 8-3, though. All right, so you guys really heard a full-on hardcore thought process on that. There was a lot going on there, so let's break it down. I clearly said, like I said, I needed sheep. I knew that from the beginning. This 9 was going to give me the best option. Now, what was interesting was I was thinking ahead. I was thinking, how can I really make it harder for orange to pick his second spot? Because if I go on the 11-10-3, then it gives him 2 potential settlement spots on the 2-9-10 or the 9-11-4, both which are pretty good for him because he also needs sheep. Seeing that he's on the 9-6-5, he's going to need sheep to counteract and buy dev cards. By me going on the 9-10-11, I lock up the board. So it makes it a lot harder for orange to pick his spot. He's probably not going to go on this 5-4-11 because it doesn't really help him out that much. And then, he can't really go anywhere else. He's going to have to look on going to an outside. So I'm really only left without brick. There's not a lot of brick on this board anyways, so, I'm not really missing out on a whole bunch. I'll be able to hopefully expand to this 5-4-11 throughout the game, which is really going to be good with our wood port. So I really like this setup, this game. I don't know if I could have done much better. If you guys have any different ideas, let me know in the comments. Let's finish this up. Let's check out orange's placement, and then, we'll wrap it up. All right, so as you guys see, orange decided on going with the 8-3 as his final spot. This is a good spot for him. I think this is the best spot he had left. The reason being, he gets sheep. So he's got a full-on or wheat sheep game, which in a later video we're going to talk about the different play styles you can play. This is one of them, or wheat sheep. It's very good for development cards in cities. Development cards really give you a high variance. It gives you a lot of different options to try and win or lose the game. So he also gets a little brick, which isn't great, but you know, if he does expand to this 10-5, he's going to have wood and brick, which is good. And then he also has this wheat port, which is going to be the wheat port's going to be pretty good. He's got the 6-9, the 6-9 wheat down here, so he's going to be able to port his wheat for maybe the cards that he doesn't have, like wood and brick. So I do like this setup from Orange. It was the best that he could have done with what he had left. I don't fault him for doing what he did. So yeah, that's pretty much his setup there. All right, if you guys like this type of video, let me know in the comments. It's a different type of video than what I normally do. I did end up going on to win this game. I was able to expand to this 5-4-11 like I was hoping to. I got the wood port. Let me pull up the final board. So this is what the final board looked like. I was about to build a city to win the game. Right there. It played out pretty much as expected, except for Black surprisingly was able to do a lot with road, with the fewer road building materials that he had. This game was actually kind of crazy. The 10s went crazy this game, so I was able to really control the flow of the game. The or wheat sheep really worked out for me this game as well. Hence why you see I have 3 knights down here, and I took army, held that pretty well, was able to defend my numbers. It actually was pretty close. I was getting a little bit nervous. Blue is actually going to win if I didn't win this turn. Blue is going to win there. So it worked out in the end. We pulled through the W. We got those good placement spots. And yeah, we clutched up in a ranked game. So if you guys like this video, drop a like, subscribe. And we're going to have a lot more educational content coming your way soon. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching.